to Saxthorpe Farm, and step one on the first of the month is always to sell the beefs off and get some fresh ones, make a bit of cash. I'm also going to get a few more Holsteins to just keep extending the numbers of those a little bit. This weird things seem to happen on here, so whether it's because the food is there, but this whole field works as and you can see there are a few out in distance. They all seem to cluster around this bit of the nav mesh. Don't understand why, but that's what happens. So, and last video we brought an extra animal trailer, so I'm going to stick this one on auto drive to head off. I'm going to jump in. I've got one of the other Deutz, I think it's the 7250 here, and I jump in that, grab the other trailer, fill that up, and we're just going to cycle with it. It just means we can do it a little bit quicker. I think I end up buying more beef as well this time, so we can just keep pushing the profits a little bit. We made some money off of the radio tower. We didn't have it for a full month, so we didn't make the full 60,000, but I do think I show that a little bit later on. So yeah, you guys can see. I think it was about 25 grand. So I didn't remember that I'd actually set the animal dealer up, and I couldn't find it in my list. So once I'd looked and seen it was there, I got a little bit more determined, because I did go for the bail point because I knew that was there. But I think it's under buy points. Why did I put it under buy points? Because this is my auto drive network. It's not an auto drive guy one. Who knows where my brain was when I was setting that up. So yeah, so rather than going, the expense of getting a trailer that will go on one of the lorries, we've got these two that will go on the tractors, and they're pretty quick road tractors anyway, so it's not too bad in terms of time that it takes. So yeah, I'm going to keep doing this, and certainly until we're in a much better place financially to be spending probably, like 60, 100 grand on an animal trailer. The plan for today then is to go around all of the fields that need it and do perfectly perfect precision farming fertilization. So the 7230 has the crop sensors on it, so we're going to run around, get all of that done, and we'll be in a really good place then for when we get to harvest. And to do that, we are going to pick up a new sprayer, because I really need to take better notes when I'm planting. Actually, it'll be easier now because we've got the new kit. Things will be consistent, but the fields had a huge mixture of different width tram lines in them, so it was a bit of a mess, to be honest, in terms of how I needed the sprayer set up. And yeah, that was fun. I was sure that, I guess it was some fields we planted last autumn with the 6-meter planter, and then some fields we planted with the 12-meter planters that we've got now, and seeders, and that meant we had different size tram lines. So yeah, and again, we're making about 7,000 a trailer load in profit, so that's pretty nice, and was covering our loan payment. It's a bit of foreshadowing there, because we do need to borrow a little bit more money to pick up the sprayer that I want to get. So I came up with empty trailers this time. We're going to get 8 more beef. So we end up actually buying 9 more, because last month we couldn't afford to fill the trailer. So yeah, we actually lost a bit of money this month because I'm expanding the herd again. So, but we will make more next month. That's how it works, isn't it? Speculate to accumulate and all that. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. We actually, I forgot to mention, I finished up the whole crop silage contract we were doing last time, and did record it, but didn't had OBS set up to record Timberborn still, and it doesn't work. Yeah, I know, more OBS issues. I think it's the fatigue. So I got 11 bales of whole crop silage off of that, which is really cool. We've got loads of food now for the animals, which is great, because grazing is doing a lot, but it's not doing all of their feeding. So yeah, and I think once the milking cows get close to calving, I will probably move them back into the shed. So it's kind of my plan. It's weird. I'm not using enhanced animal system on here, which feels a bit strange. And I'm probably not going to add it. I'm enjoying the simplicity a little bit. You know, we've got Mace Plus, so it's enough. I think it's enough. This series is not about animals. It's about just playing the game. So yeah, the other thing that we've got, and the reason there's a reason that I want to go around all of the fields now. There's a lot of forage contracts still. I'm not doing any more of them. So yeah, up at the store, I've put narrows on the 7230. We need to borrow about 100 grand to be able to buy the sprayer that I want. Arguably, I could have got away with not buying it. The Kubota one that we've got doesn't go wide enough to do the 36 meter tram lines. So that's why I wanted to buy this one, but ended up with a lot of it running at 18 meters because a lot of the fields had 18 meter tram lines in them. So yeah, we're going to configure it as 36. I'm not going to do that. So this is from the Kubota pack, and you can have them have pretty large capacity, but we really don't need it. It doesn't really fit in with how I play. So I've got the front tank on from our other setup, and we'll have that as well. Bit of extra capacity. I know technically it doesn't connect. Deal with it. In the same way as when you press a button, it doesn't magically spawn an IBC in the real world. Tis what it is. So although I bought it with 36 meter, I think I end up accidentally configuring it as 18 because farm sim, and it defaults to default working width, but I actually just wanted to turn off spot spraying because we're not going weeding, and I've had issues in the past with spot spraying and not fertilizing the field. And I think it's actually the field on here. There is something up with that field, and you'll see later on I had fertilized it but didn't bother. They did so much of this, I didn't record all of the fertilizer spraying. And that was one of the ones I didn't record, but it has got the stripes in it again, which is a bit weird. And unusually, I'm starting on the up-down rows. I know it's a bit weird because I wanted to check the width that I'd seeded this at, and because I couldn't remember. The other thing that I've found, and again, I think it's a game thing, is that when I changed the boom width, it didn't. You can see it's spraying full width here, but for some reason it occasionally drops back down to, whether it's when I saved and reloaded, I'm not sure, but it kept dropping down to reduced working width, and that kind of messed me up a little bit. You'll see it coming up in a bit when we make the turn. So I think this field is on 18 meter tram lines, but that means if we run in every other tram line, we could do 36 meters. So this whole video was a bit of a, or this whole session of playing was a bit of a mess in terms of getting the fertilization done. I'm really looking forward to next planting season having standardized on 36 meter tram lines with the big kit that we've got now, and that will just make life so much easier, I think. Yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. We've got 12 meter seeder, 12 meter planter, 36 meter sprayer. We can just standardize on all of that. And I'm probably going to try and pick up another. I think our big combine, I think, has a 12 meter header, and I'm probably going to try and pick up another combine with a 12 meter header, sell the two Deutz combines that we've got, and upgrade. And that's kind of my plan. So yeah, I'm aiming to get stuck in a tree and then run down the second tram line. Yeah, the other thing I've been pondering on here, and I can't afford it at the moment anyway, but I'm hoping with all of the productions we will be able to, is getting a JCB. I really like JCB. I know obviously we've got a lot of Deutz. We've got a little bit of Fen, but I am thinking about picking up a JCB, partly for road work. I mean, the bigger Fen that we've got is fast. You know, it does 39 miles an hour. But I am thinking about picking up a fast track. I'm not sure which one to also help, because as we own more and more of the map, there is a lot of moving stuff around the map. So we've got the two trucks for it, but having tractors that can get across the map fast is also going to be handy. And just having more equipment, it's weird, even at this point. So this is where I was thinking that something weird was going on, and you can see as I walk the boom, the fertilization stops. So I was, yeah, after having a bunch of trouble in the field that I didn't record, partly because I didn't record it because I was having a bunch of problems. I was a bit hacked off, and it's like, what the heck's going on here? And you can just see me testing it and just kind of walking the field and seeing what happens to the nitrogen level. And I was a bit at a loss here. I was thinking that I'd wasted my money, and then I spotted in the F1 menu that we were on a 19-meter partial working width, not 36 meters. And as soon as I changed that, it all became fine. And yeah, so one of the reasons that I'm using liquid fur is we're producing it ourselves now with the home brew plate production. And once I've done all of these fields, my plan is to set all of that to selling, see how much money we make. So I think when I ran up the previous one, we might have been on a reduced working width as well. So yeah, I think in the end, I actually went and just put on the 18-meter booms and did every strip. And this is what I was saying, this was a bit of a disaster. And standardizing is going to make that easier, hopefully. I seem to have a lot of problems with precision farming and spraying on here. This is probably one of the few maps that I actually spray on, so I don't know. Don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to, once we've, like, at the end of this video, I've finished all the spraying, I'm going to, and it's in the next video, I'm going to set that production to selling. We'll see how much money we make from running that for a few months. I think it's going to be quite a bit. The alternative is we put in a sell everything point and we get a tank and we manually deliver it all. We'll probably make more money that way. I might do that. That might be an option. Let me know what you think, because it's going to be, you are going to see this video before I record the next one, because I'm actually recording the commentary on the morning that I intend to release this video, because that's where I am. Being away last week, I didn't get as much done as I would like, and this week is, well, actually this month is going to be pretty mental with work as we race towards the end of the financial year. So yeah, that's my plan, and hopefully that'll bring in a bunch of cash. We've also got soybeans which are almost ready to sell. I'm kind of holding out. I'm going to possibly hold out until July to sell those. They're going to be worth about 300 grand, which either sensible me would pay off a bunch of our loans. Actual me is probably just going to buy more land, because land is king, and the more land we have, the more money we can make. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. You can see, again, it's defaulted to a 19-meter spray width. I didn't spot that as I opened them up. But I spot it fairly quickly. So we are on 36-meter booms now. We are on 36-meter tram lines, and everything works once I realised that this is happening. This field already has mostly perfect fertilization. So the fertilizer was applied as we seeded with it, set to automatic. But what I'm doing now is, because this crop is fairly well grown on, with the crop sensors on, we get perfectly perfect. So you can see we're only applying between about 5, 10, 15 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare. It's a very small amount. You can see the mini map is only changing very slightly, but that does give you a small bump in yield for not very, it doesn't take very much fertilizer. It gives you a small bump in yield for time, essentially, and I figured we should try and maximize our yield on all of the fields. And we've been, I'm doing things that I don't normally do on this save. I'm mulching fields generally. Doing this step of spraying, I wouldn't normally do it, but in this case we are. This field actually has a strip which really needs fertilizing, because we ran out of liquid fert when we were seeding just on the very last strip, and you'll see that if I show you as we come around the corner. Don't remember if I kept recording or not. Yeah, but we're finally in a field that needs the 36-meter booms, because this is one of the fields that we planted with the new kit. There it is. You can just see it creeping into the corner, that little strip of red. So we can fix that as well. It would be actually, there's one I would not mind seeing for FS25. If you've got a field where maybe it would be a precision farming thing, but I'd like to see precision farming as standard in FS25. Something you could turn on and off maybe. Is that if a field's not properly fertilized, and so you're getting less of a yield. Maybe the texture's slightly different, so maybe there's, and again, this might be an issue with load, but I spoke before about wanting textures for each growth stage, which there isn't by default in the game. Maybe you have 2 for each growth stage. So if the field's part fertilized, you get 1 texture, which reflects the fact that it needed more fertilizer. And then if you get when it's fully fertilized, you get a different set of textures. And maybe we could go a step further. And if you don't look after the field very well, you get less yield, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe there's more realism in the growth. So if you fertilize really late, the fact that the crops have been starved of fertilizer for most of the growth cycle affects the yield. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Make it so you have to do more through, like in the real world. Through the year, you can't just plant your field in, let's say, October. Apply all of the fertilizer either before or as it's growing and just ignore it then for a year. I think that would be good. I still see people saying that they want the game to be like SnowRunner and have dynamic terrain. You don't. You really don't. So also yesterday, the PS4 PC video released, and it's doing okay, I guess. I kind of hoped it would do a bit better. I guess it's one of those things that's probably going to be a slow burn, like most of my stuff. I did kind of spam it around a little bit in Discords, and yeah, it's okay. It's fun making it. We'll see how it does. So back to more regular programming. I'm not sure what I've got planned for later this week, actually. I've got a plan, but I'm not sure what's in it. I think it might be Let's Play. I think I might just have a slot later in the week that says tutorial. So, yeah. I said with March being really crazy busy, there's going to be the odd missed day as we go through this month. I'm not certain, so I'm recording this before I start work. The commentary anyway. I'm not certain that YouTube will let me upload and process this video in time to release it today. So there might be a missed one today. This might roll back a day. We will see how things go. I'm going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members at this point, because you guys are awesome. There's been a few new additions to Patreon, which I really appreciate. And so just to talk a little bit about that and some stuff. Obviously, I have got the community multiplayer going. That's not doing great. And so that's going to... Oh, hey, I paused the game. Slick editing there. That's going to go offline for a little bit because I want to... I didn't buy a new server to do that, and I want to use that server to get the Patreon multiplayer going again, because there's some stuff for those guys to do. So yeah, because there's very low demand for the community one, and in fact it was bar one person, it was 2 of the patrons, 3 of the patrons, 4 occasionally, depending on who's on there, that we're using it. And so I'm going to switch that over for a little bit, probably only for a few days, and then I might bring it back. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with that, to be honest. It as I kind of expected, it didn't do very well. I think something like 170 people said they were interested in it. Clicked the little button on YouTube, and 4 people turned up. Let's say 5, being generous. Maybe 6 now. So, and that's kind of why I didn't spend any money on it, because it's what I expected. So yeah, going to take that offline for a bit and switch it over to the patrons only one on Glenlarvan, because I need their help on there. So last field that I'm going to show you, I think I did. I can't remember if I ran around the sunflower field as well. I think I did, just to do the perfectly perfect step. But I figured you've seen me spray like 3 fields at this point. It's all very similar. Again, this one is really going to perfectly perfect. I'm pretty sure I did liquid fert in the cedar as we went, so it's just getting that last little 5-10 kilograms of nitrogen just to push the yield right up there. And maybe that's a good thing, because we've only got 1 field of corn for silage this year, so that's probably a good thing, because we are getting through the silage. I did sell a lot, so we probably won't be selling as much this year because we've got cows now. And I might actually run it up to the cow farm and put it in the bunker rather than using the fermenters this year. because we've got a couple of bunkers up there. We need it up there, so that might be what I do. We're kind of halfway between the two farms, so probably makes more sense in the grand scheme of things. I'm not sure between now and harvest, might be July. There might be a couple of days on the farm where we've not actually got much to do, and so I might head over to the Oaks. I'm not certain. I might just skip time so we can make progress on here and keep things rolling along, because it's kind of the focus of this is to when we sell those soybeans, we can get ourselves another field. I'm looking at fields up near the cow farm, Otley, so that we can maybe grow some of the feed up near there, and the prices of those are kind of in the range of what I want to spend, and we've got some that have got the maximum discount from better contracts, so that all seems like stuff that is sensible to me to be doing so that we can keep progressing. We're quite a way into this series. I think we are on episode 51. I have no idea how long this is going to take. It's going to be a bit like Greenland's and the £10 million debt challenge, that I think as we get bigger, everything will get faster. As you own more land, you grow more crops, you harvest more crops, you sell more things. We've got the radio mast in now, we've got the production. I did have some suggestions for some other productions to stick in, maybe. I'm always a bit fun. Greenland's kind of burned me a bit on productions, because I stuck in a flour mill, an oil mill, a dairy, I stuck loads in, and I just didn't enjoy using them, and ended up selling most of them. So what I've got at the moment, I'm happy with. So we'll see how we go. We've got the grain dryer as well, so can't forget that. And anyway, I think we're pretty much done. So I am going to say thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have enjoyed the video. Comments, questions, suggestions, all that stuff down below. And I will see you next time for more farming on Saxthorpe. And I'm not sure, I might have skipped ahead to July, see where we are. I might still be in June. We will find out then. See ya.